guys, Korner. Happy Sunday. Happy Self-Care Sunday. Hopefully you have done something today that fed you and prepared you for the week, whether it's meal prep, whether it's some recovery, whether it's a workout, whether it's have a conversation with your mama and them, get revitalized, reinvigorated, and prepare to start the week off right. I am extremely full because I went to the gym this morning and I got a good old word, a good old nasty word. Of course, this new season that I just walked into, where launching the first Purge Palace wellness session at the Kindred Healing Center 1 week ago today, releasing my first book, Black Oasis, on Amazon, which is now available in a paperback. Hard copy on the way, hardback on the way, but it is available in paperback, child. So you can go get you a little nasty in hand. If you like to read the books in front of your face and not use a device, you can now do that. You can have it in your house on a shelf. And so I am so proud of that, because these are dreams that I've had, things I've wanted to do for a very long time. But it's like, the germination process is the germination process. So the word for today is your pain is your purpose. Your pain is your purpose. Now, you have some people who are born into this world, and from adolescence, they know who they are. They're clear about what they're supposed to do. They might be gifted in a particular area. They go into that gift. They use discipline. They dominate. They rise. Voila. Those are your Beyoncés, your Kobe Bryants, right? Like, they typically gather your Michael Jordans, LeBron James. They typically gather a lot of notoriety, right, in their field, right? They are excellent, and it almost seems ordained. Or it is. And those people, we consider them special gems, jewels. We cherish them, we value them. And then there are other people who take a different path. It might not be as clear and concise. Their childhood might not be supported by parents who know and see them and put them in position to lock in on one thing and master it and excel. And that's not, as the majority of us, that's not the case. Some of us do a little soul searching. There are some people who get to graduation of high school at 17 years old. They know what they're about to do in college. They go do it. They get the house, all the American dream, all of that. And then you have some of us, like myself, who go to college, might drop out more than once, right? Might say, bump that. I ain't for school. And then 7 years go by and they might try it again. I don't know. But this word is for people who might not see it yet, who might not see their purpose yet, who might not be fully clear with every fiber of their being, what they were created to do, how they were created to execute it, and how it's going to impact the world, because we all have purpose at the end of the day. No matter what avenue, no matter what the germination process looks like, you are a seed that is here, that was sown, that was planted, and you shall bear fruit. You shall bear fruit. So, the word, your pain is your purpose. Some of us have experienced a whole lot of pain in life, a whole lot of pain. I was molested by a family. I'm getting heavy with it. I was molested by a family member at the age of 5 years old. Okay? This transferred into a hypersexual behavior as a child. Okay? All kind of fallout, right? Then at around 13 years old, I was kicked out of my mama's house because I was acting up. And I was acting up because I started to confront and realize I started to be confronted by colorism. I started to be confronted by beauty standards, and I've always been bigger and darker and louder than my counterparts, right? And so imagine that as a 13-year-old girl who's now having a menstrual cycle, hormones, all these things, and you're a big personality too, right? And that with a couple, with just the way my parents chose to handle their divorce. It had an impact, okay? And so at 13, I now am uprooted from living with one parent for 1 week and another parent for another week to now living just with one parent, right? And this one parent had to work. So the capacity to be hands-on in a particular kind of way wasn't there, right? So I'm outside with it. And in being outside with it, I experienced more sexual assault, rape, kidnapping, right? And let me be very clear. I want you to know, I put the clothes on, walked out the door, and that doesn't make it right, but I just want to say, we're already living in an at-risk behavior type lifestyle. I'm outside with it, with green, okay? Because let's not pretend I grew up riding horses and going to private school. I did, okay? So I don't know what street life is like, but I want to be in it because it looks exciting. But what did it bring? A lot more pain and trauma. We're talking pregnancies, miscarriages, abortions. We're talking illegal activities in the form of some particular hustles. All these things inviting in pain, 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 pain. I'm mad at my mom for kicking me out, therefore I'm doing destructive behavior. It's subconscious. I'm a child. I don't know that I'm doing this. I think I'm grown. I think I'm grown at 16 years old. I think I'm grown at 15 years old. I'm not drinking, smoking, you know what I'm saying? Learning just all kind of behavior patterns that made it hard to be a disciplined adult. Because in my formative years, while other people are going to school, and it didn't help that I was smart. It didn't help that I was able to test high in my class, that I was able to not do homework all year and still pass my test. It didn't help at all that I had the gift of gab. It didn't help. It actually made it worse. Yeah, I passed classes. Yeah, I got into college. No discipline, no structure. Because while other people are studying and doing homework, I'm outside with the boys. I'm outside with my homegirls. We riding around. I'm going to clubs. I'm in class sleepy as hell because I was out at Adams Morgan all night long. I was out around the way, down M Street, down H Street, down East Street all night long. Drinking, smoking, developing addiction all night long. But it all works together. Because what is this? Just pain on pain, pain on pain. And at a certain point, when you get sick and tired, you start asking questions. And when you start seeking and asking questions, you get answers and clarity. Because God always provides. At the end of the day, God always had his hand, her hand on my shoulder, my back. My ancestors are always holding ankles up, holding me up from the ankles, just holding me up, getting me home safe time after time, making sure I didn't get locked up time after time. Ooh, I really do got to tell y'all that story. Story time. God, please. Real quick, let me just check the statute of limitations. Chat GPT. Chat. I can talk about it. Okay. One night, right, I went out to the club. This is after I've had some really traumatic experiences romantically, okay? And so I want you to know I'm heavy in coping with the carryout and the liquor stuff. I am embedded in a culture and a group of friends that are drinking and smoking and partying every night, and I'm with the shits because I need fun to combat the misery and pain that I feel, right? And so I go out to a club, per usual, go to Adams Morgan. My dad is out of town. He's at homecoming. His car is in town, okay? I done already bought a car and had it stolen. Let's be clear. I am not a responsible young adult. I think I was probably in my very early 20s. Maybe just 21, 22. And so I go out to the club. I'm at the club, and I will never forget this night because I remember what I had on. It was a little cold. I had on like this brown sweater dress. I had on these high heel boots with the fur. Because let me tell you, I started wearing heels in like 7th grade. That's why you can't see me in none today. Because I done wore them knees and they did what they had to do, just a little too premature. It's okay. All things work together. And I wore these boots with the fur, okay? And so I'm out at the club, I'm drinking. Not only am I'm buying shots, I'm drinking Hennessy because my drink of choice is Hennessy and Red Bull. Okay, why? Because it kept me up. And I just swore that whenever I drank brown, I was like my best self. Like I just swore, like I'd be like, vodka, that brings the demon out. Girl, no, I need that Hendo because I can stay clear. I'm solid. If I need to fight, I can't. Just ratchet mindset, outside with it. So I'm drinking. Then drove the Mercedes Benz down to Adams Morgan. On my way back home, I make it home. And because a part of me knew I was driving my dad's car, you know? So I will say that I don't believe I overconsumed. But you've been drinking, you don't know what the hell you done did, okay? And I'm driving, and I make it to my house. And then something said, you need some chicken. You need some chicken, Blake. And I said, okay. DC is a bunch of one-ways, okay? So I drive up to my house, go around to make a U-turn, because carry out is just catty corner. It's block down, block up. But you got to bust a U, go down the other direction. I'm driving down the street. I get to the place where the intersection where I have to stop, and I'm about to cross over Georgia Avenue. And instead of hitting, it was just so crazy. Instead of hitting the brakes at the intersection, my boots with the fur and the huge platform heels hit the gas. And your girl went and propelled straight across Georgia Avenue into a carryout. I'm talking about in it. It was like a movie. Gas, like I just see smoke and hear hissing sounds, and Asian people. I didn't know the people had been living in the carryout too, because they worked downstairs and went upstairs. That's sweet. Just live upstairs from your job, bills, genius. They start popping out with the camera phones. I'm talking about from this angle and that angle. I ain't never seen so many Asian people in the dead of night at one time. And when I tell you, I said, oh no, I can't be here, and I reversed the car, which is now smoking and sizzling because I hit a gas pipe. And so that's just like, psst. And the car just it's not rolling. It's like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and I 1 2 that motherfucker all the way back down to my house and parked it out front. Smooth criminal, Blake. Smooth criminal. I mean, like, what the fuck, child? No judgment. Anyway, so you know it's bad. You got to say no judgment for yourself. No judgment. So, you know, of course I'm stressed, depressed, sad, outdone, because my daddy ain't home yet. My daddy gonna be home any goddamn day, and when he get home, he gonna see his champagne Mercedes outside cooked, and I'm a broke clubber. I ain't got no money. I don't talk about this out loud. I really haven't. This is the first time I really talked about this outside of like my core group. So I am feeling as I'm expressing. He comes home. He sees it. I'm pretty sure I wasn't honest up front. I'm sure I wasn't. Or maybe I was. I don't know. I didn't have a tendency to be honest. Oh, hey, Duchess. I didn't have a tendency to be honest. And so I don't know if I did or not. I'm going to have to call him and ask. Maybe I did because I was scared. And I needed him to know what the hell was going on, just in case I needed protection. I don't know. But I was so scared. I mean, there's no way I could hide. What was I going to say? You know, oh, I don't know what happened. Someone must have hit it off. Like, girl, it's a dent in this thing, like a wedge. So I go to, you know, business as usual. My dad, like the wonderful father he is, I would say the nice guy he is, because he should have put a foot in my ass. But like the nice guy that he is, just went to solutions. And and just went to fix it. And it's not the first time I done cost my dad a whole bunch of money. That's another story. I'll tell you about my 16th birthday later. And so, you know, the days went on, and then the next thing you know, there was a letter that came to the house because, of course, it was reported. And of course, the tag was identified. And of course, they said, come bring your black ass and turn yourself into the police station. Wow! I can't even believe this. God is too good. And so I went to the police station with my father. And it's almost like a part of me wants to call him and be like, Dad, did you set this up as a scared straight moment or what? Like, what, did you know this man? I'm going to call him and ask him because, like, it could have been. I'm going to call him. I got to ask because it's crazy. But went to the police station, met with the police officer, black man. He had on a Masonic ring. My father's a Mason. And at that moment, it was like things just started to align in a particular way. I don't know what it was. It was because I was there to turn myself in and face whatever consequences I had to face as a result of hitting a building and leaving the scene and hiding. And then the police officer said, you know, my son just had this experience last week and his life is over with. His life is completely, it's just trash. I'm not going to put you in the system. I'm not going to put you in the system. I'm going to spare you. Because I wish someone had spared my son. And I went home. What? Now, from my understanding, this typically only happens to white people. I don't know many black people who come in grips with the law enforcement and they just be like, I know your daddy, so I'm just going to send you home. Or just off the strength of, this reminds me of something that happened to my child. I'm going to send you home. I don't know that. Especially when you done hit a building, okay? A very popular carry out of that. One of my favorites. What? Home. And why? What's the spiritual lesson? What like, why did that happen? It didn't come to me till very, very, very much later. I am obligated to tell the story. I'm obligated to use every piece of the story from how I got to the place I was where I committed this crime to how I was saved and preserved and let go. It is my job, my life's work, to devote myself to healing emotions, not only within myself, but then holding space for other people around me to do the very same thing. We feel things every day. Feelings are not facts, yet we make decisions behind our emotions that become extremely permanent and determinations of life courses. Your life course can be determined by how you feel, which ain't even a real thing. Yes, feelings feel real, but they are not factual. But we allow them to govern our lives. Some of us stop short of understanding you have to go through the things that you feel, heal them, address them, confront them, in order to get on the other side so you can help the rest of us. If your story sounds crazy, there's a reason. I don't even know how I'm here. There's a reason. I'm talking about people who've been sex trafficked, people who have been sexually assaulted, people struggling with addiction, people who committed murder, people who have done the unspeakable or experienced the unspeakable. If you're still here, there's a reason. Your purpose is rooted in that pain. It is rooted in the process of healing that pain. Because the thing that you learn about yourself as you start to embark upon healing is just how strong you are, just how divine you are, just who God is, how God works. That's what you learn when you take the risk to confront the thing that hurts. Oh my gosh, it is a natural reaction to experience pain and be like, ooh, ouch. Don't want that again. Don't want to touch that again. Don't want to go there. Don't want to see it. No more. No more. But then when it comes to healing, let's say you get a 3rd-degree burn. What do they have to do to that wound? irrigated. They have to cause more pain in order for you to get healing. Oh, you have a fracture? You have a compound fracture? You got a bone sticking out? Oh, we got to realign the bone, set it. Ouch, more pain. Sometimes, in order to get over the initial wound and scarring, the healing process hurts. But oh my God, the fruit, the empowerment, the clarity, the spiritual grounding, the spiritual foundation that becomes birthed through the process of confronting your pain. It reveals why it came to you in the first place. It was built for you. You were built for it. Your spirit signed a contract before you got to this realm saying, hey, I agree to do this work. And this work looks like having an absentee parent, or this work looks like assault. This work looks like reproductive issues. This work looks like feeling lonely. This work looks like I'll never have children. This work looks like because there are others like you. And when you're loud about it, and then you all can see what God really orchestrated for you. What? Well, you take the chance to raise your hand and say, me too. And then you find out who else is with you. Well, this is my team. You ever been in school, right? And you're supposed to be playing like kickball or flag football or something, right? And the coach is like, count you off. 1, 2. All the twos come over here. And then you see who's in your group. You be like, oh, we about to win this shit. We got to win this. Oh, she's strong. Oh, she's strong. Oh, she's strong. And then look, they might be looking at you like, oh, she fast. Oh, she fast. We gonna win. Yeah. Raise your hand. I'm a 2. I'm a 4. And then see who your squad is. It is only your job to live your life, to surrender and accept what comes your way, not what you think it's supposed to be. I grew up saying I was going to be a dolphin trainer. I want to be a marine biologist. Do you know what Me Today says? I had the opportunity to swim with dolphins. I went to Discovery Cove in Florida with my family one summer, with my mom and my sister, and swam with a dolphin. And I said, oh, them motherfuckers is way too big. Oh no, way too big. Way too big. I saw a documentary called Blackfish about really the horrors that we impose upon orcas at SeaWorld, and I am convicted against it. I don't believe any orca should be held in captivity anywhere. I don't. There's no way. It is. Imagine if I had been a marine biologist. Dolphin trainer, sorry. Let me be clear. Those are 2 different things too. Dolphin trainer. That wasn't my life story. I went to school for psychology. Okay. I took AP psychology in high school. Yes, in high school, as I was skipping and drinking and smoking all night, I'm in AP psych. Why? Because I had repressed memories about my assault as a 5-year-old, and they were coming back to me in dreams, and I wanted to know what that was. Divine order. Joined the rites of passage so I could learn about African spirituality. Never for once. My name is Blake, and I was born in Silver Spring. I was born in Washington, D.C., grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, went to high school in Bethesda, Maryland. Wasn't nothing African about all that. Just wasn't. But I was born to a grandmother who was a seer. I was born to a grandmother who experienced sexual assault herself, having her first child at 13. That's too young. So what does that mean? Yeah. Born to a mother who is a communications major and Emmy Award-winning journalist. All these things coming together, and I carry them inside me. My father loved African garb. They went on the Oprah Winfrey show once. That man had to have a makeover because my mama was like, all he want to wear is dashikis. Look at his daughter! You know how much garb I got in my house? Staffs, art, shrines. Perfect recipe for me. And so if I had not been big and black, if I had not been sexually assaulted, if I had not been or felt abandoned by my mama, if I had not gotten pregnant my first semester in college, if I had not ran my car into a carryout because I'm drinking and smoking and clubbing, if I had not had all those things happen, I wouldn't be able to write the poetry that I write. I wouldn't be convicted around creating space and wellness and making it easily accessible for all black people. I'd have no conviction behind it because it wouldn't matter. My purpose is very much in that pain because I could have had a very plushy life. My contract clearly had some fine print on it, honey. Because what happened to the cruises? What happened to the horseback riding, cruising black girl named Blake? She in Southeast DC. Why is she around 640 with the boys? How did this happen? No? All things in divine order. All things in divine order. So, I said to say, the Purge Palace took place last week, Sunday, July 13th, 2025. And it was bigger than I could ever have imagined. It was better than I could, because there were things that took place outside of my control that clearly showed me God wanted this to happen. There were people who reconnected with people. Multiple people came to the event and saw someone they used to know. Someone else they used to know and did not know that they were going to be there. Multiple. What are the odds? My sisters that I helped to highlight, right, and showcase their healing skills, both both, I believe, was their first time giving away this offering in this capacity. I was able to compensate them financially. I was able to present them in front of a room full of new people. They walked away with a level of knowing what they can do and create. And these are my bigger sisters. They're grown with kids, all kind of, you know what I'm saying? It all still took place there. Seeds were sown. The woman who owns the Kindred Healing Center, we are in such alignment. And now new visions and new ideas are being birthed out of just that space alone. And all of it because I got clear that my pain is my purpose. That doing this work for things that are deeply personal and close to me is the thing that is going to sustain me in the future. Being present and consistent and disciplined in knowing that God is all and all is God. And that I simply have to be in position and willing, and the rest will work itself out. No matter what name it's called, no matter where it is, no matter who's, and none of that matters as long as the divine order takes place, and it does. Beautiful. I had advertised tea on the event. I ain't had no tea. Guess what? When I got there, she said, "You want me to make some tea?" It's from a ritual that we had on Thursday, and it's all about opening and making sure that people are clear. And what? Business coach was there, recording, capturing content. Something for me to know, I have to have people present to do that. Didn't think about that next time. But it would all worked out. Whatever hurt you is actually going to help you. Confront it. If you need some support with that, I got you. I am a life coach. Give me a call. Let's talk about it. If you're ready to do the work, to confront the things that have controlled your narrative, and you want to dismantle that, if you're having a hard time seeing, is this a problem? Am I in my own way? The best way to determine that is the fruit. What's the evidence of your life? Are you happy with the way things are right now? Are you aware of things you do to self-sabotage? Are you aware of the ways in which you're blocking and resistant to the thing that you were called to do? Are you fighting to be a lawyer when you're really supposed to be a poet? Are you afraid that you won't make enough money, therefore you don't touch poetry and you keep killing yourself slowly in this law office? Are you going to surrender? Did you get married because you was afraid of financial insecurity, but you really don't know if you can make another day with this person? It's real in the field. And I'm going to tell you this. Everything that's for you is easy. Therefore, if it's hard, it ain't for ya. And I don't mean that in the way of personal challenges and development and growth. I'm talking about the things that you keep trying to force to make real. Like them relationships. Child, I was a relationship forcer. Okay, you wasn't going to tell me that this wasn't my boo. Criminal record out the wazoo. Criminal record out the wazoo. Wildly aggressive. Just horrific. Like, man, you think that's your boo? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been on a roll. Whew, I feel like I gotta sneeze. Anyway, been on a roll. Thank you for tuning into Kai's Corner. Your pain is your purpose. Your purpose is in your pain. Cheese and rice, Jesus Christ. Your pain is your purpose in your pain. Your pain is an indicator of where healing needs to take place. And once you address that healing, you can function at a more optimal level. When you heal, you can be whole. And again, I hate using that as an infinite and finite. There's no such thing as heal. You're going to always have stressors. You're going to always have trauma. You're going to always have stressors. You're going to always have trauma. You're going to always have things that might be challenges. That is how you know you're alive. You have things and forces pushing in multiple directions. It is supposed to be. You are supposed to have tools to address those things throughout your life. The same way you expect a baby to defecate in a diaper. Thank you, shout out to Black Bob. The same way you expect a baby to defecate, that's why you have a diaper. It's the same way you should expect pain in your life, and that is why you have healing tools and modalities to address them. Forces pushing things from one way to another. It will never be perfect. It'll always be process. And thank God for that. Thank God for that. Because if you look at anything in nature, nature got all the answers. That's why I like going to Sweetwater, and I'm going to go this week. I like going to Sweetwater. Everything in nature shows that things are always moving and changing. That the beauty sometimes is in the disruption of how things are supposed to go. The most phenomenal things that have us in awe are the trees with bent bark and bumps. And why is it growing sideways instead of straight up? Wow. Oh my God, that frog has 2 heads. Wow. Oh my gosh, like it was just flooded and now look, the stream is, wow, look at all the vegetation. Wow. You know, the Nile had to flood and then you saw the most beautiful crops, the most abundant fruit ever, but the flood could have killed you if you lived there. You could have died. You could have died. And then afterwards, look. When the water recedes, the most beautiful bounty, a harvest one has ever laid their eyes on. That is our lives. That is our lives. Wade in that water and then come out anew, honey. Thank you for tuning into Kaya's Corner. We have the next Purge Palace August 24th. It'll be about mobility movement, healing through movement. We're going to have yoga with the Taylor Duncan. We're going to have a body positivity crump session with Lola Stacks, two beautiful women with wonderful vibrations, and then set the tone and set the stage, set the space for us to just become more in tune with the bodies that we're in, all shapes and sizes, honey. All shapes and sizes. So you definitely want to be at the Kindred Healing Center on August 20th at noon, that you can get in the flow. Get in the flow. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Instagram at Black Oasis ATL. On Facebook at Black Oasis. On TikTok at Black Oasis Podcast. Because there's a whole lot of Black Oasis, so I just couldn't be the same across all platforms. And that's okay, because I ain't changing the name. And then check out the website, www.blackoasis.love. And Black Oasis episodes will be restarting in the fall, okay? In the fall. We are conducting interviews right now with all the beautiful people I know to celebrate them, to highlight them, because the truth is that when we all come together, we create paradise for one another. When we all come together, we create paradise for one another. We are the Black Oasis. The parts, all the stories, all the pain, tribulation, trials, struggles, trauma, whatever, it all works together. It's a beautiful thing. So until next time, stay Black. And lucky you, you don't have a choice.